Hi friends, we're going to be looking at Austria artist Helmut Kohler. One of the things we're going to be looking at are the colors that he uses in his work. Was there anything that you're noticing in these animals while you're looking at them? Something that might be different from what they would normally have in real life? So as you can tell, the artist uses abstract colors and vibrant bright colors to help his work stand out. Some things that are more realistic though are the shadows and highlights that he uses to create form in his animals. So we're going to be doing that in our bunnies today while we're creating them.
Okay, we're going to be making these bunnies today. I know that I have Easter eggs on the bottom of the bunny. If you don't celebrate Easter or don't want to do an Easter bunny, you can absolutely do something other than eggs below that bunny. What we're going to be doing is talking about highlights and shadows. So in second grade, we've already discussed this and we were reviewing it before we had to leave school. So I'm hoping this video will give us a little practice. For your drawing, you want some kind of piece of paper. I chose to use a paper bag because I had that available to me at my house. If you have regular white paper or anything, construction paper even, you can use whatever paper you want. I'm going to be using a Sharpie for my project, but again, use what you have at home. So the first thing you're going to do is draw a line across the bottom, but we want to have it only come up from about a third of the paper, so we have to save enough room for the bunny, so we have to all that room for the top of its head. Then what we're going to do at the near the very edges, we're going to do a curve on each side for its cheeks, and you want them to kind of be the same height and very similar width. Then off of that, we're going to do another little curve on each side, and once you have that, you're going to do another curve that connects to those two curves. Okay, now we're going to do the ears, and the ears are going to come up with a curve near the top and then come back in the opposite direction. And then same thing for this ear over here. Now what I'm going to do is another curve that follows the outside edge or inside edge, whatever you prefer, of that last curve. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is just a little line about right here. And then off of that line, I'm going to do another curved line that comes out like that and goes down. This is part of the bunny's mouth area. Then we're going to do some little dots with some whiskers that are curved and come down. Okay, for the eyes, we're going to have them come off the head. So what you're going to do is a curve on each side. And then off that curve, a little circle. And then you're going to fill that in around the outside edge of that circle. Alright, so what we're going to do now is come along the edge of this and just do a curve that comes down. That's going to make a bridge for the bunny's nose. If you would like to add eyelashes and things, I'm going to go in and do just a few eyelashes. And then I'm also going to go in and just do a couple lines for like hairs throughout it. Down here I'm going to do a few eggs. But again, if you want to change the shape, you're just going to do 3 shapes, and then within them I'm going to do some kind of pattern. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm going to go in and add my highlights. So I'm going to be using white because I have a paper bag. I also have these awesome construction paper crayons that work really well on it. But if you're using white paper, obviously white's not going to show up, so you can use yellow instead to show your highlight. You want to remember your highlights should all be on the one side of every shape. So I'm going to use white and fill in half of each shape. We did this with our bird project. On the left-hand side of my bunny. If you do the right-hand side, then everything on the right-hand side needs to have that white. And again, remember, you only fill in about half of the shape. So I have that. Now I want to add highlights to my eggs, and I need to make sure the highlights match the highlight in my bunny. So I'm going to do half that egg, maybe a little less than half, white. So for your shadows, you can do a black or a dark valued color, like a dark blue. A lot of times artists use blues to use shadows in their artwork. I'm going to be using blue in mine. And I want it on the opposite side of the highlight. So now I'm going to go on to this side of the ear, okay? So notice I did not draw my highlight on the right ear because this one's going to have my shadows in it. So I'm going to go in now on the right side of the bunny and do the shadows. For the right ear, half of the face, and then shadows on the other half of the eggs. Okay, so now that I have the shadow in, I'm going to find one color that I want to color the whole bunny with, and you can actually go over the highlight and shadow with that color because it will naturally darken and lighten up that shadow. It's up to you what color you would like to use. I think I'm going to use maybe some orange this time.
If you don't like how the highlights and shadows are looking when you go over it with the crayon, you can always color near them and not on top of them.
All right, friends, so that's looking good. If you want to add any more details, you can. As you can tell, my two bunnies look very different, and that's going to happen. Yours will not look exactly the same. Maybe there's some things that you made mistakes on. It's very hard when you're not in school, Mrs. Plummer. Just do your best and learn from your mistakes, and if you want to make more than one, you can. They're kind of cool. You can even save these for the future when we come back to school and use them as a lunch bag to show off to your friends one day. So, but if you don't have these, just use any kind of paper you want, what you have available, even newspaper. Think about what you have as an artist that's really going to make you stand out.